Alrighty guys, we're back for Abuelo's Bombardment, and this is a Lost Caverns of Ixalan Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, rockin' Abuelo's Awakening in this one. It's X3 and a white, sorcery speed, return target artifact or non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with X additional +1/+1 counters on it. It's a 1/1 spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types. Nice, pretty cool Reanimator card. We're going to be pairing it this time with Arcane Bombardment. This is a 6-mana enchantment. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard, then copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment. You may cast any number of copies without paying their mana cost. Very cool build around card, guys, which reminds me, this was actually a patron suggestion, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's definitely going to be a fun one, and this one was actually very difficult to put together too, so it was a fun time actually building this. I landed on kind of sort of a toxic theme here, so we do have a Goliath Hatchery on the top end as well, just a one-of. A 6-mana enchantment. When it ETBs, you create 2 3/3 green Phyrexian Beast creature tokens with Toxic 1. Also has Corrupted here. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters, choose a creature you control, then draw cards equal to the total toxic value, which unfortunately in this list will just be 1, but hey, extra card draw, right? So I'm interested to see how much Goliath Hatchery actually does today. So some stuff fitting that toxic theme. We have Charge of Mites in here. This is a 3-mana instant speed. You get to choose one of these, so you can either have it deal damage equal to the number of creatures you control, to target creature or planeswalker, nice, or create 2 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Mite artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block, of course, right? So Charge of Mites, we don't get to see too often, but it would be a really sick card to hit off of the Arcane Bombardment, which is kind of why the deck was so difficult to actually build, right? I had to find a good balance between like enchantments that we could bring back with Awakening, but then also cards that are pretty good to hit with the Bombardment once it's actually on the board too. I think Charge of Mites could be pretty good, and I think the deck should know how to go wide all right, at least. We also have Viral Spawning in here. This is a 3-mana sorcery speed. You create a 3/3 green Phyrexian Beast creature token with Toxic 1, and then it also has Corrupted, as long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters on it, and Viral Spawning is in your graveyard. It has Flashback for 2 and a green. So if we accidentally send it to the grave or end up discarding this to one of our other cards, then that's fine and dandy. Maybe we'll be able to flash it back without the Arcane Bombardment, right? So some stuff that could accidentally send like a Viral Spawning to the grave is like Seed of Hope, for example. This is a 1-mana instant speed. You mill 2 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. You gain 2 life. Of course, permanent card, that includes lands. That's pretty good. I think overall, first of all, instant speed, that's going to be important. Once you do get the bombardment on the board, you can totally do something on your turn and then hold an instant speed card open for your opponent's turn and then do the whole bombardment nonsense all over again on their turn, which is actually pretty wild. So like cheap instant speed cards happen to go a long way for bombardment, and I think Seed of Hope is going to be great in here. And I think that life gain goes a long way too. It definitely goes a long way for our opponents recently. We don't get to see the card too often, but I actually think it's pretty good. We also have Tamiyo Safekeeping. Speaking of the life gain going a long way, this also has the you gain 2 life at the bottom, but target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. That could really come in handy. There does seem to be a good chunk of enchantment removal, but also if you do go the Abuelo's Awakening route, then this is also like a 1/1 spirit, so there's a lot of creature target removal too, right? So yeah, Tamiyo Safekeeping, hopefully protecting some of our goodies. Okay, what else do we got in here, guys? I'm kind of all over the place. We got Bitter Reunion to help us discard, help us filter. Also, potentially given haste to important creatures, maybe taking 1 turn out of the equation before the opponent gets like a board wipe or something. Or, you know, their 3rd board wipe, because this is very much a mid-range deck, not an aggro deck. Yeah, no, Bitter Reunion should be good. It's another enchantment that we could hit off of the Awakening too. You never know when that's going to come in handy. A little bit of spot removal, just 1 Get Lost. I wanted like a removal that could hit anything. It doesn't hit anything. Creature, enchantment, or planeswalker, then its controller unfortunately creates 2 map tokens, and I do think the games will go on long enough for your opponents to utilize the map tokens. The problem is, I really just wanted removal, and yeah, sometimes you need to remove enchantments or planeswalkers too, so this could totally be your removal of choice though. Also have some board wipes in here too. Incandescent Aria. This is a 3-mana sorcery. Deals 3 damage to each non-token creature. Nice. So most of the cards in here won't actually get hit by the Incandescent Aria, which is actually pretty cool, man. Now, it will hit, like, whatever you awaken off of the Abuelo's Awaken, but still, like, all the other tokens, like our viral spawning and stuff, doesn't get hit by this. Early board wipes should come in handy against mono red and soldiers and all those other decks that know what they're doing, huh? So I have big score, more ways to plug important stuff into the grave to eventually bring them back, but also really good ramp, huh? A couple treasure tokens really does go a long way. Just filtering out the hand too. Big score is a good one. Also a great one to get off of the Arcane Bombardment too and just recast every single time, keeping your hand nice and stocked, keeping the board stocked with treasures. But more importantly, I guess more so the win condition over toxic is actually just burn down the house. So we got all 4 of these. Of course, the board wipe's going to come in handy. But when you do actually end up hitting a burn down the house with the Arcane Bombardment, then just spamming devils out every single turn is really, really good, man. We also have Virtue of Loyalty in here. It has that adventure side, of course. You get that 2/2 Vigilant Knight for pretty cheap for only 1 and a white. Not half bad. That is also instant speed as well, so that'll be something cool to try out with the bombardment. But also, of course, the Virtue of Loyalty side is an enchantment, so you can always potentially bring that back with Abuelo's Awakening too. And if the deck does know how to go wide with cards like Charge of Mights, then maybe the +1/+1 counters and everything can help us wrap up the game too. So at the beginning of your end step, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, then you untap those creatures. Awesome. Okay, I actually think that's everything. Lots packed into the build. We do have a couple Mirrex over here because, yeah, kind of sort of a toxic theme a little bit. We have a whole bunch of dual lands that I thought about for a bit. 2 Restless Prairies because, again, I do think the deck will know how to go wide sometimes. A couple Seat of the Empires too, just for more removal, and I don't think the fact that this is legendary is going to hold us up because I do think we're going to use it as utility often. Another noteworthy thing, of course, a Restless Ridgeline in here too. Just another way to hopefully clean up a match if the opponent ended up controlling us or something. Some honorable mentions. All of these almost made the cut, but as you guys can tell, it's really hard to squeeze cards in here because, yeah, 26 total land, I believe. Yep. Okay, so honorable mentions. Skrelv's Hive almost made the list. Kind of seems a little silly not to have it in here. Many Journeys, yep, almost made the cut. Restoration of Eiganjo, same thing. Repair and Recharge almost made the cut because I almost had a top-end Chandra in here too, so that could have been pretty neat. I do think Chandra would be good in a build like this, so. Okay, hopefully that's everything. Let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. Right into that first game, guys. Oh my goodness. That took like less than a second. That's really nice. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Oh, good first hand? I don't mind this. Opponent goes first, unfortunately. Just like we have the mana we need for now. It's a couple turns of slow land, but like Seed of Hope on turn 2 while we establish the board with those slow lands. So a little bit of life gain. Yeah, dude, I don't mind this. Charge of Mights is probably going to actually just go for the Mights. Right now, at least. Haunted Ridge. Who endures? Oh. Alright, I'm going to start with that Jetmir's Garden. So I wonder if this is going to be the big Rakdos we've been seeing floating about. It very well might be. I believe it runs Demolition Field, which is actually terrible for us. Oh, crap, dude. If we end up losing too much of our land... How many basics do I have in here? Hopefully enough basics to run up against multiple Demolition Field effects, right? Because I believe the big Rakdos runs a few of them. Yeah. Yeah, this could be really scary for us, actually. Well, first of all, I will go ahead and use Seed of Hope now. Because I don't know if I'm going to be grabbing a... Oh, I missed on that. Okay, take action. I guess we should still grab a green. The problem is we have Who Endures. We'll have double red on Sundown Pass. We'll have the white source. I don't know what I want here. I guess the plains before I accidentally mill the one plains or something. You know what I mean? Because the Who Endures can always be our other green source when it comes time. Okay, Charge of Mites is open. We're going to keep that open for their turn. Maybe spam some tokens onto this board, huh? And hope that they don't play any more demolition fields. But as far as the deck list goes, it does look like we have enough basics. I got a little scared there. The build that I have planned for tomorrow's video does not have a lot of basics. So that could be really scary. Okay, Viral Spawning. I think we play this as a land just to get ready too. Well, I'll attack first and see what happens. Getting a couple toxic through here is pretty huge for us. Okay, I am going to play this as a land, and I'm thinking Viral Spawning, but I do think that we're going to get hit by a board wipe soon, so maybe just keep Charge of Mites open. Board wipe, we could have Tamiyo Safekeeping to protect the 3/3 at least. Yeah, I guess I'm actually just going to hold it all back and see what happens. Charge of Mites might be a little better here. Going wide for Toxic, especially since like the 3/3's not blocking anything. There's the 5th mana. Because if they go like, oh, Breach the Multiverse, dude, this is going to be disgusting, man. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. The ramp off of the big score onto a turn 5 Breach just feels like almost impossible to get around. Trumpeting Connoisseur. What are they going to hit here? Big score, not bad. Not a bad hit. Now they'll have 2 open mana. What did they hit from us, by the way? Wait, Breach is permanence, isn't it? Wait a minute, hold on. I don't think they hit anything from us just because of how our deck is designed. I gotta read Breach again, but yeah, I think based on how our deck is actually designed, I don't think they hit anything. So we do have Burn Down the House available. We could full swing off of that. We just like keep on going. Looks like the Toxic might be the best way through. So maybe we just like generate with Mirrex instead, which seems a little bit... Maybe that's not what we do. 1 second, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Our Goliath Hatchery's in the grave. Choose a creature or planeswalker. Yeah, that's nothing in the build. Okay, well that's good at least. For a second, I thought they were about to get something free from us, so... I'm just gonna go... Maybe it is Viral Spawning, actually. Let's full swing. I was thinking like Burn Down the House for extra damage, but I think the Toxic might be the best way through here. Right? So maybe like Viral Spawning. Like the Mirrex token's fine too, but also the flashback is available for next turn. We have Tamiyo Safekeeping for the 3/3 if they try to remove it like that. I honestly should have used that Mirrex token, tapped that down and kept like the Sundown Pass open, just to have more ways to bluff potentially. They have so much mana though. They still have 6 available to them. So if they don't get more blockers down or have more ways to remove here, a full swing. Okay, Chandra. Right. Okay.
Stopping tyrants like you is...
I think we're gonna have to use a Tamiyo Safekeeping this turn. For whatever they target. And I think they're going to want to target both of, or 2 of these things, right? Oh, they're just going for 1. We should save 1. We totally should. Like, they're sweating from the Toxic. Get 2 more Toxic in next turn. Okay, Burn Down the House number 2. This is each non-token creature, this does not hit planeswalkers, which that Chandra is a big pain in the butt, dude. If we just keep slamming face, we get him up to 7, and we're actually getting to the point where we're going to start fizzling out very, very fast. So if we go burn down the house, full swing to face, full swing at Chandra, swing 4 at Chandra, what do I want to do here, man? What do I want to do? Because we have another burn down the house next turn as well. And they block here regardless. So it's 5. We got 5 damage. If we wipe our board, we might be able to get a few of their things gone. Really tough decisions. I'm going to go like this and threaten the Chandra. And go 2 to face and see if they let the Chandra die to block the 3. How do you guys feel about that? I feel like that's pretty good, actually. Because they block the 1/1 and then 4 to face. The 2 poison gets through. Chandra's down to 1. And they do have a +2 on it, but at least that means we won't be losing any of our creatures. Burn down the house. They go for devils because blockers are important. Oh, also it doubles because Chandra's on the board. Oh no, dude. How we get through? If we go burn down the house to wipe the board, then I suppose we use our devil to clean up the connoisseur, but we're losing our toxic cards. You know what, man? I'm actually very pleased with how this played out so far. It's too bad we hit 2 of our Abuelo's Awakenings off of all the mills. Okay, Connoisseur. Yep, we still have a great wipe here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, now we don't. That's really bad. Oh, no. We can at least hit 1 of these. Hitting the Brotherhood's End there. Yeah, since we're not able to actually wipe the board. I was going to say, we have a absolutely terrific... Oh! I just targeted the wrong one, guy. Drop the oops. I misclicked on the wrong one. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so we're taking 7 here. I can't believe I did that, dude. I can't believe I misclicked. I don't think there's a way to take that back, right? Definitely let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Or a way to take that back, of course. Right, so if we go flashback, we go burn down the house. This has trample too. Could also power up Ridgeline for 3. Crap, dude. Crap, I can't believe I let a 7 swing through. Crap. That's rough, man. Let's just go for the devil swings, huh? Let's just go for that. Because I'm pretty sure if we get, like, viral spawning down and threaten poison... Italy. Oh, yeah. This was probably gonna start leaning towards them regardless of their 7 swing, right? Still, we could have been at 18 instead of 11, so that feels bad. I'm sorry about that, guys. That's embarrassing. Yeah, definitely don't target the one with Summoning Sickness. They found Iron Crag off of it. So that's, I mean, not the greatest hits off of Italy for them, but they still hit stuff, so that's good. Going wide with more mites would have been good this whole time, too. See, now this turn we would have been down to 11. So I don't think it's going to end up mattering, but you never know. They're at 8, too. Curious to see what we see on the Seed of Hope play here. Huh. Seed of Hope and a land. For 26 land, going this long and only finding our 6th mana now seems a little silly, actually. I believe that is it. I'll do the fancy thing and actually go for the flashback from the viral spawning. And it is sorcery. Oh, it is going to be removal for the 3/3 as well. Okay. And then even if we keep blockers back, the trample gets through anyways. So we might as well swing. And at that point, we can pick up one of the 1/1s too. That was actually close. At that point, we would have been, if I would have actually targeted the right dino, we would have been at 13, and if we would have kept blockers back, I guess we could have survived one more turn. I guess. I don't think it ended up mattering too much after that Atali hit the board. Luckily, right? If that misclick would have mattered more, that would have been one that haunted my dreams, man. Okay, let's get into the next one. That was a good game. I think it was. If we saw more mana early on too, there would have been certain things, like actually being able to do 2 things on the same turn would have been good. In a couple of those instances, right? We really got to see that Toxic get through nicely. That Chandra hitting the board. Oh, and then the Brotherhoods. Yeah. Yeah, not letting us actually wipe their board state there was brutal. With their Brotherhood's end. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think we keep this. Opponent goes first, unfortunately, but I think this is totally fine. Well, that is all of our Tamiyo safekeeping, so hopefully we have something to protect this game. Potentially Rakdos aggro over there. Okay, Virtue of Loyalty is open. We're going to do that on their turn. Goliath Hatchery, hey. Dinosaur, uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. They called Dino on the Cavern. Is it potentially going to be the same build then? Or a similar Rakdos build? Trumpeting Connoisseur. I don't think it was worth waiting to have a Tamiyo safekeeping open, right? I don't believe so. Abuelo's Awakening. And now we just need a way to get that hatchery into the grave, which we do not have in hand right now. The triple safekeepings, that draw was really bad. We'll see, we'll see. And any land off the top wouldn't be bad too, but like... Oh, it looks like they actually missed their 4th. Charge of Mites. Okay, some land. Yeah, dude, I don't mind that. Like, we won't have anything, but, like, seeing land right now is not a bad thing, for sure. And a couple safekeepings open, too, if we really wanted to protect these 1/1s for some reason. Which I suppose you never know, especially if the Toxic really gets rolling. Which it might. The Charge of Mites really knows what it's doing sometimes. Uh-oh, no land for the opponent. That kind of sucks. Well, we can't power this up. I'm going to go Seed of Hope before combat. I think there's things that could affect combat. Mirrex. So nothing to hit with the Awakening. But we could totally use the Mirrex for more tokens. So that'll be good, at least. Or we could go Safekeeping to protect one of these. Power up the Foundry. Huh. I completely overlooked that Foundry. So I'm just gonna regenerate with Mirrex instead of go Safekeeping. How you guys feel about that? Yeah, I'm just gonna regenerate with Mirrex here. We have the Corrupted. Oh, wait till the end to actually generate this. So land off the top could be good. Maybe we just like cast the hatchery, you know? Seed of Hope, not bad. Could also go Virtue of Loyalty. Now I gotta be prepared for the Foundry block, which I was just completely overlooking over there. Yeah, Seed of Hope's fine. Let's see what we see. And again, I think there's some stuff that could affect the combat. Well, there's our land. If we swing, we're still getting one toxic through. We could Safekeeping and generate a new one. But I am concerned about a board wipe is the thing. So maybe we just hold back for the turn and let Virtue of Loyalty do the thing. How do you guys feel about that? Now we don't have protection open for the 1/1s though. But I want to get these above the Mishra Foundry range. And Go for the Throat doesn't hit either of these, so... yeah, just holding back, practicing patience. I think that might be the best bet, especially since the opponents have been struggling for mana here. Yeah, this could very well be a Brotherhood's End type of deck. Oh, it is. Well, we're going to have to go ahead and start generating these tokens again for sure. More mana, I don't mind it. I really don't. Keep a green source open. I'm double checking the auto tapper over there, yet we're going to have to keep a forest. Okay. And then those get buffed up from the Virtue. And since they're corrupted, we're going to be drawing an extra card too, which is kind of wild, as long as we get to keep one of these on the board. Yeah, being 4/4's Brotherhood's End doesn't hit it. They find mana and go burn down the house, then we have Safekeeping to protect at least one of these. Also, Go for the Throat hits these too. These aren't artifacts like the other ones were. Passing it back. Oh, maybe passing it back. GG opponent. Oh man, I would have loved to play that one out. Yeah, these games have been sick, huh? I feel like they could have gone either way. If the opponent saw more mana there, that would have been nice to like actually like fully play that out, because I don't think they would have conceded if they had more mana. The first game, like I said, I think that realistically could have gone either way too. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? You're bringing a loud pet to the table is what I hear there. There's always those the pets that you hear before the game actually launches. Is this bad? Is this a bad hand? But like, we have Bombardment and Awakening. 26 mana, so we still have 24 land in the build. And the opponent goes first, unfortunately. We should mulligan. We should. Okay, I will. That makes me sad, though. This is better, right? Should I keep Seed of Hope? And see if I can find a green source off of the Mirrex? Big score is going to be... okay. Unfortunately, guys, I'm going to ditch the Bombardment, I think, which makes me a little sad, but we should be able to find it again, right? Eventually. Or something else to hit with the Awakening. The problem here is I don't want to ditch mana because I think we're going to really need it all the time. We could do Seed of Hope on our turn for not taking damage off the Karplusan Forest. That's totally fine. Burn down the house in the grave. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe I should have ditched the mana instead. Big score helps us filter out, though. Ooh, a couple big scores. All right, Jetmir's Garden. Couple slow lands from the opponent. Most likely a domain build then, right? Ooh, viral spawning. That's actually pretty good. Well, might as well attempt it, right? Yeah, 3/3. Might get picked up by removal right away here. Nope. Nice. Probably saving their removal for something more deadly, I would say. Or they wanted to get a couple 1/1s too. The more green sources, I don't mind any of that. We're going to keep the... ooh, I'm lagging. You guys see that? I'm going to keep the big score available. Go ahead and get a chump out of them. suppose they also don't know what's in hand, too. But... Opponent, are you there, buddy? Was that lagging? Was that your game crashing? I hope not. We'll go ahead and... Oh, there they are. Okay, sweet. I was gonna say, we'll go ahead and pause the recording, but... Because I feel in the last couple weeks especially, there has been a lot of the opponents just like, my guess is their game is crashing or something. Because it has been happening a lot to me. You guys will have to let me know if it's been happening to you as well. Herd migration, find some land, gain some life. With all the life gain in a domain build, the toxic might really come in handy. Found a virtue of persistence. Alright, well, let's see if we find a Tamiyo safekeeping off the big score. And I will go ahead and ditch the Karplusan Forest here. I think we have enough mana for now. More mana, but at least it's utility. We did not find a safekeeping. Nothing to hit off the awakening because we had to send... Ooh, burn down the house isn't bad. But I wonder if it's big score again. Yes, sending our enchantment back. We probably should have sent a land. That way we actually had that to discard, right? So we get the forest down, keep our utilities open. I think we could go burn down the house and start swinging. We could. Okay. I talked myself into it. They just gained so much life that it feels like it's not even doing anything. But it should be fine. Like, we have Crucible too, if we want to go wide that way. And as we get creatures onto the board, some of our cards in the deck get a little better too, right? Cards that actually care about having creatures on the board. We do have a chunk of overall. Herd migration on their turn. So they're missing their land draws too, because they're finding their land to play them on their turn. That's their 5th. They go Mosswood Dread Knight. Okay. This is a little bit of a different domain build than what I'm used to. Seed of Hope. Okay. I do this before combat. I still feel like, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like there's something that could affect combat. Ooh, Arcane Bombardment. And then we could discard it with the big score and have 4 open for the Awakening. But that seems excessive. So I think we just end up playing it, right? Seed of the Empire. Letting their Dread Knight die isn't terrific, too. They get card draw off of that. 1 second. Opponent, I'm thinking, buddy. Seed of the Empire or Crucible? Probably Seat. I want to save as much of this treasure as possible, because I think having a lot of extra mana is very good in this build so far, right? And then we go for the swing. And we just poke the opponent's face. We lose a lot of our devils here, but that's fine. Our plan is to pick up the burn down the house from the grave anyways. So yeah, we have an option. Poke face or kill the Mosswood Dread Knight, let them draw, let them replay it. Which I suppose them having another blocker next turn and wasting all their mana on the Mosswood Dread Knight is not a bad thing, right? And plus, they might not even have enough mana to do it. Yeah, Mosswood Dread Knight's a tough one for me to figure out sometimes. It's like, well, is this worth it value-wise to actually take off the board because they just end up replaying it anyways? They go Leyline Binding. Oh no, we won't be able to bring that back with the Abuelo's Awakening. I was thinking like, oh yeah, if they kill it, if they got like a Who Endures or something, then we can actually just bring it back. Darn. Okay. Still got big score. Still have Awakening. Crucible, they're at 26. Some of our toxic cards would be really good. And they do just go for the draw and play on the Dread Knight, unfortunately. going to be a similar concept. I think I'm going to ditch the Get Lost. They are at the point where Atraxa's coming down any turn now. Do this before combat. We could. I don't even think we do anything for combat, actually, but I am curious to see what we get on our turn, as there are sorcery speed things that we would not mind doing in here. Uh-oh. I suppose forest, and then cycle out the garden, and then no attacks, unfortunately. Yep, they're just one land play away from dropping the Atraxa. Oh, it's a tapped land. Okay, that's good news. Vraska? Oh, no, dude. That's pretty bad, too. I suppose they just go for the draw and proliferate. And then they have that -2 available for whenever they need that. They go for the swing. No blocks. We can take that 3 quite successfully. I suppose we'll cycle this out. Oh, and we still have open treasures, so maybe I should have done that. Oh. Well, they'll be able to swing. I should use my treasures for this. Yeah, those will actually be able to swing in. And do we target Vraska? Oh, Safekeeping. That would have been good to have when the bombardment was on the board. We have Mirrex open. We could go 5 at Vraska because of Crucible, too. Wow. Really, really tough. We can't just leave this alive, can we? 1, 2, 3 open. So Safekeeping's open, but like... Yeah, we should full swing at the Vraska, unfortunately, guys. I'd love to get that poison to face, though. If we would have went 3 to Vraska, 2 to face, get some poison rolling. They drop the GGs. Does that mean Atraxa's landing? Because once it does, once they actually restock their hand... Start with the swing. And the swing gets through. Sunfall. That's an exile too, guys. The indestructible doesn't help it. Now I understand the opponent's good game. Brutal stuff. And we don't have like Mirrex open to at least get something else established on the board. Oh man, the exile effects were very brutal this game. Oh, Restless Ridgeline. Okay, I'm going to play a couple more turns, guys. Always feel free to skip ahead in the video. I do have chapters at the bottom of the video and timestamps in the description as well. And while you're down there in the description, definitely check out that Discord link. And also, the Patreon link is in the description too. One of the main reasons to join up the Patreon, of course, is to support the Red Cat community, but also these patron suggestions, which of course I prioritize over any other suggestion. This has actually been really fun so far too. I'm actually curious to see how the deck would fare against some of the more aggressive builds in Standard as well. Actually, we're 38 minutes in, guys. We should just hop into the next one. I do want to see what's on top, though. Yeah, I want to get one more game in, and we're pretty late into the video here. I'm going to generate a token with Mirrex, and then see what's on top, and then we'll give it to the opponent. Opponent? I want to see the top card, buddy. I want to see the top card. Oh, no. The opponent's game crashed again. I don't know. Okay, I suppose we can, Oh, they're back. Hi, opponent. I just want to look at the top card, okay? But also, I want to generate Mirrex token. They drop the GGs again. I'll drop it to them in return. It is actually a Who Endures. That's a really good draw, dude. Of course, they could just have another Leyline Binding in hand, too. They could just have another one. That's, like, really good, because watch the Safekeeping here. So they get that. Oh, they're not activating anything. Well, I'm gonna do safekeeping on our turn because I want the ability from the bombardment. It's gonna be the Leyline Binding on the stack. Darn, if only we had a target for the awakening. Okay, now we'll give it to them, guys. I wanted to see what we hit with the bombardment's exile. Oh, actually, the exile still went through. Yeah, but I want it. It was going to be a burn down the house as well. They still had an 8/8 though, but the Vraska would have been picked up. That's going to be a wild match, man. But they had the second Leyline Binding, and then on top of the stack of the Safekeeping, all because I wanted to see the exile too. So if we would have just kept Safekeeping back and passed, we could have saved it for their turn. I think their 8/8 was still going to be able to close that game up regardless, but that's tough because, you know, multiple burn down the houses if we were able to continue casting on that Arcane Bombardment. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. The opponent waiting for us to cast something before dropping the Leyline too. That was particularly good on their part. Opponent goes first. Okay. Keep 7. I don't mind this. I actually hope we go up against a more aggressive style build. Might as well get that down tapped, I would say, right? Sundown Pass. Okay. Oh, Restless Prairie. That would have been the card to play last time. Forest is fine. Let's go Bitter Reunion. And I will ditch the Karplusan Forest. Right? Keeping our utility lands is a little... Oh, speaking of which, wow. That's a lot, dude. Oh, welcome down. Oh. Okay. I have a bad feeling that these board wipes aren't going to hit anything. I have a real bad feeling about this one, man. Nothing great to discard, so I'm actually going to get rid of one of the... I think that the opponent might be running a token build is the problem. More land. Uh-oh, uh-oh. That's not good. Well, we have all the land we need for the next. It is going to be a token build. They get card draw. What a nice little combo there. Okay. Restless Prairie number 2. Mirrex can start generating. It's going to be generation off of the Mirrex, right? Some pretty janky draws. I would say it could very well be how I put the deck together. Go for the swing. Focus for 1. I got 4 open too. I'm assuming it's going to be like a Wandering Emperor because that is a card that you would not mind having in your Boros tokens. You know what I mean? Okay, come on. I would love to see the Awakening actually do a thing today, but it's actually a lot harder than it looks to actually get one of these enchantments into the grave. We could always sacrifice a Bitter Reunion and do it that way. So we're probably going to eventually filter on that. Guys, the land is rough. I'm going to go Restless Prairie and probably just generate off of the Mirrex again. Do you suppose they keep this around? I guess I hold back because there is a chance that we care about having creatures on the board. Like, yeah, sure, Tamiyo Safekeeping could protect us for the turn, but then we don't have the generation of the second one.
Guards, to me.
Seat of the Empire's open. Actually, Crucible's open too. So we have Filter, Seat, Crucible, or Mirrex. So a lot of options, even though we're flooding a little bit this game. Okay, they bring that up to a 2/2 with first strike. Maybe the filter off of the garden is the play. Or maybe the... well... This is tough, man. I wouldn't mind swinging at the Wandering Emperor. Let's see what Seat of the Empire can do for us here. Oh, they're going to get another 1/1 to block anyways. Well, removing one of those isn't bad. It's really funny that this is probably not going to hit anything in their build. So that's probably going to be the next thing we discard too, if we see any more of our discard cards. So they get another 1/1, so they still have a blocker for this. And they would have had 2 blockers if I would have generated the 1/1 there. Keeping their hand nice and stocked. Dude, the opponent's deck looks really, really sick. So we could power up Prairie and then just like watch the second Wandering Emperor hit. We could survive long enough, maybe the opponent will deck themselves out because they're drawing so much too. Yeah, powering up Prairie doesn't seem great, does it? Wait a minute, we'll have 1 green open for the Tamiyo Safekeeping, so we can at least give it hexproof. This is full swing at the Wandering Emperor. Try to get that low enough, right? Could just be other forms of spot removal as well. Oh, also, they have Restless Bivouac open over there. Oh man, couple 1/1s. So if they go triple block into Prairie, that would actually be pretty good for us, because Safekeeping comes down, protects it, and then we get rid of 3 of their tokens. The opponent's just like Boros tokens list looks so cool right now. Just like this little setup with the Welcome and the Uprising is wild. We actually did get the Emperor low enough here too to not have the -2 ability. But yeah, be careful. I did swing into Restless Bivouac as well, so they also could have just powered that up. Luckily, the Safekeeping did a thing. +1. They have a great swing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. We're in trouble, dude. Buffs itself. That makes sense to me as well. Down to 11. Uprising, draw. What's the Uprising have to be at? Exactly 13 permanents. Do you guys suppose they're going to do that? 7 damage? They might as well, since they have exactly 13. 7 to our face is pretty brutal stuff. We'd go down to 4. Oh, they didn't, though. Oh, then if you have exactly 13 permanents. Okay. Oh, buddy. More land. That's brutal. We could power up the Restless Prairie. A different style of board wipe would have been good this game. Yeah, I guess we full swing at Wandering Emperor again, right? But then we die next turn regardless. Like if we didn't keep blockers back, right? But keeping the Wandering Emperor on the board is really bad too. Oh, a Braid comes down. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cycle out the Garden. The Safekeeping. Dude, all right. GG opponent. Now this is definitely theirs. We'll swing at the Wandering Emperor. They might even just let the Wandering Emperor take the 1 to make sure they have more cards on the board to swing in with their Restless Bivouacs and buff everything nice and wide. The opponent's deck looks sweet. And to populate because they're going to be restocking with tokens anyways, that makes sense to me. I wonder if they're rocking like a couple Crucibles because the deck really wants to plug creatures onto the board all the time anyways, right? Vensia Uprising is one of those cards where, like, around the time of its release, we saw people trying it out and whatnot, and we tried it out a few times too. Yeah, burn down the house. That would have been so good for us. And it's actually like a really neat card, but then it ends up being pretty slow. But in the right build, like, look at this, man. They really ran away with it. Oh, we're still alive, though. Like, yeah, opponent, get that last fun swing in. Nope, still alive. Vanquish the hordes. Oh, then devil damage. There it is. Hey, good game, opponent. Very fun looking list. Very cool. Vanquish the hordes isn't one you see too often either. This list was freaking sick, dude. It costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, and they had like 6 creatures over there. So it only cost double white. And then the devil damage went through for the rest. Dang, man. That was cool. Really fun matches today, actually. Tough uphill battles. We actually ended up flooding a few times. That being said, I don't think we want to drop down our mana. Here's the deck list again, guys. 26 land. It definitely felt like 28 today, didn't it? Did we drop to 25? I don't know. That's tough. And another big thing here, I think even though the build around was Awakening with Arcane Bombardment, I think I would drop down to 2 Awakenings. This was really hard to pull off. I don't even think we did it today, did we? We could have in that... No, we couldn't have. No, yeah, they exiled it. Never mind. No, yeah, this was really hard to pull off. And with only a finite amount of ways to get Bombardment into the grave, here's our ways to... Wait, let's actually sort this a little bit, right? We can take a look-see here. Here's our enchantments that we don't mind hitting with Abuelo's Awakening. And then everything else are cards that we can hit with the Arcane Bombardment when it comes time. And then ways to actually get these cards into the grave is Bitter Reunion, Seed of Hope, and the Big Score as well. So that's only 9 cards too to actually help get the Arcane Bombardment into the grave. That just, I guess, doesn't seem like enough. When it comes time though, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, some rebalancing of the cards might make it so that way we can pull off the Awakening more, but I think realistically, the deck did enough of a thing without the Awakening to drop this down to a 1 or 2 of, and then just bolster up the other effects in the build, right? I think that would totally be fine. I also think the 3 Tamiyo Safekeepings were pretty good too. Actually came in handy quite a bit, I would say. Burn Down the House, if we could run 8 of them, we probably would. No, the 4 of is probably necessary, as it is just a terrific board wipe overall, and there's so many moments where that's just going to save your butt. And then the Devils, so many moments where the Devils will actually just help you win the game. Like we saw the opponent showcase that in the last match there with their Boros tokens. That was pretty sick. Then unfortunately, we didn't get to see the Incandescent Aria do anything today. We didn't really go up against aggro decks, did we? And the big problem with that, of course, is a lot of mid-range and control decks actually just run tokens. Now, in a deck like this that knows how to filter out with Bitter Reunion and Big Score, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. You just end up filtering those out like, hey, I'm never going to use them. I'm going to discard that and see what we can grab. But realistically, when you do get these, you'd much rather just filter out like your Bombardment or your Hatchery, so that way you can eventually bring it back with Awakening, which then the creature, if you don't have Safekeeping, will eventually just die anyways. Like in that last match, they had that Abrade just chilling, as well as probably another Wandering Emperor chilling in that hand too, right? Some fun surprises of the build was just like how good Charge of Mights seemed to be. I love that it's instant speed, and it's a common too, dude. So we didn't get to use that top ability as removal, which was a little surprising to me. I do think the deck did struggle a bit more than I thought it would to actually keep creatures on the board. That just happens to be how standard is right now too. Viral spawning was pretty sweet, pretty slow, however. It's just too bad we weren't able to actually get any of these and copy them with Bombardment, which is, again, the state of standard, which is why we like don't see Bombardment too often. It's a struggle. It's a struggle to pull really cool things off. Outside of that, I do think we pulled off some neat things with the build, so I'm actually proud in that scenario. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. Let me know what you thought of the deck list. Should we drop down to 25? What would you add or take out? Should we drop down to 1 Awakening and just lean heavier into the Bombardment side of things anyways? Yeah, either way, let me know. Thanks again for the suggestion from the patron. Very, very cool suggestion. Very fun list overall. So, all right, guys. Hey, I will see y'all in the next video.